You're listening to Food Rebels, and welcome. This is the podcast that brings you brands, chefs, and live on-air tastings. A show that's dedicated to the more rebellious side of the food world, where we celebrate the people who have challenged the status quo. We'll be giving you a peek behind the curtains and inside the minds of the people who are shaking up our food industry. You know me, I'm the show host, AJ Sharp, taste expert, food writer, great taste food judge, and of course, business owner. I love meeting new people and tasting new foods. So, sit back as we hear more stories from people in food who dare to be different. Hello, welcome to Food Rebels. I'm really happy today to introduce our guest, Don Martin, who is a design thinker, flavour alchemist and self-proclaimed natural experimenter who's been reimagining condiments as an art form. Don Martin is the founder of Winnie's Original, which is a small Oxfordshire-based company making some of the boldest, most exciting jams and sauces you've ever tasted, or not yet tasted, perhaps. Rooted in Jamaican heritage and fueled by a curiosity for what could be, blends unlikely ingredients and creative freedom to build flavours that celebrate diversity, individuality and pure, joyful invention. How's that, Don, for an introduction?
Very good, very good.
Oh, well, welcome. Welcome to the show. I mean, first of all, Don Martin has to be the coolest name I think I've ever heard. It's epic.
It's the one I've had all my life, so.
Yeah, I just show up, dude. I love it. Tell me about Winnie's Original.
Winnie's Original. Winnie, my mother.
Ah, it's named after your mum.
Yeah, it's named after my mum, yeah. You know, she's my mum, obviously, but phenomenal mum. Moved from the West Indies back in the 60s and, you know, well, has been living here ever since. But I suppose the Winnie's started a long, long time ago. Obviously, she was born, and my grandfather and my grandmother in Jamaica had a little piece of land, and they started growing different fruits and vegetables. And my grandfather used to make jams. Now, my mum was not interested in jams at all.
Really?
Well, she could cook. And when she came here, obviously she had myself and my 5 other brothers and sisters.
Other brothers and sisters?
One sister.
One sister and 5 brothers.
Is
there 6 of you or 7 of you?
There's 6 of us.
6 of you?
Yeah.
Goodness me. Wow.
And then I'm the last, I'm the baby.
So I'm the youngest of 5.
Exactly. I'm the one that apparently had it very easy.
It's actually not true on that point. I think the youngest sees everything, and then you spend your life trying to work out what's perfect.
Exactly. So, yeah, I suppose, the story starts when a friend at work, where I was working at the time, gifted us some damsons, and my mum took them, made jams, as she had seen her father make. And it kind of just started from there. It snowballed from there because, I took them to work to give it back to the person that loves it and other people as well. And they loved it. And it was like, oh, wow. And then coming from a design background, I've always liked to experiment and I've always liked to do things like that. So I've nurtured that side of things. And, when it went back to them and I saw the enthusiasm and the happiness that it brought them, it was natural for me to say, oh, what else can I make? And so It kind of snowballed out of that. And I've made many different flavours which haven't made it into Winnie's Originals. And maybe I'll go back to them later on. But essentially, to them now has been one big experiment.
That's
just
amazing.
Been iteration on iteration.
So what's been your most experimental flavour to date? Is it always fruit?
Not always, no. I tried, I think it was beetroot, cabbage and...
Sounds like a kimchi.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Beetroot, cabbage, and I think it was an apple juice actually. Nice. That I mixed together. I don't know why I did it. I just wanted to try it. Never worked.
Oh, well, it sounds like it could have worked. Bit of chili in there probably would have been lush.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but it was. I don't want to copy what other people have done. Mm. So I have experimented with a number of different things, which I won't say here because some of those are still in the works. But, if they do work, it will be amazing. And it's not just the product, the jam or sauce. It's actually how it's presented as well. It's the whole package. It's not, I've quickly understood that it's not just what you taste, it's what you see and how you respond to what you see that starts the journey to the actual product and you enjoying that product. So I've invested a lot of time in what you see in terms of Winnie's Original, designing the label and making it aesthetically pleasing. And
it is beautiful. It's a black label for people listening on the radio. It's a black label with this really beautiful, it's not old-fashioned, but it's kind of like a traditional font. Sorry, I'm not a designer, so I don't know how to describe it properly. But there is something about it that's very, it's sort of traditional, but with flair. It is traditional,
yeah.
Because it's got these kind of swirly-whirly bits around it, and there's something very, almost slightly grand about it that I quite like.
Exactly.
It would sit beautifully on a table of a stately home or somewhere. It's awesome.
It's supposed to be, they are geared towards the premium, but to be honest, it's not, it's not just supposed to be for, those people that, have got millions and millions of pounds. It's for everybody really. And, I hope it reflects that as well.
So tell me about these two. So you've sent me two of these. I've got this one with red writing on it.
Yep, Sweet Chilli Apple Sauce.
That's it. The utterly sumptuous Sweet Chilli Apple Sauce.
Yeah.
And the tropical pineapple jammin'.
Yes.
So how do I use them?
All right, okay. So these two. So Sweet Chilli Apple Sauce. This is, or has been, my bestseller.
Oh, really?
It is, and a lot of people go, Sweet Chilli Apple Sauce, I don't really get it. And I honestly, I don't sell it to people. I let the product itself sell itself, because when people taste it, they get textures, flavour, heat. And I always say to people that, when you taste it, it might have a little bit of a kick, depending on how much chilli you like. However, you're never going to eat this by itself. Well, you could, as you are.
I mean, unless you're weird like me and you just spoon it out of the pot.
However, you're supposed to eat it as a condiment, an accompaniment too. So this particular one, Sweet Chilli Apple Sauce, goes really well with hard cheeses. It's absolutely brilliant with a bacon butty.
Is it?
Just a bacon sandwich, absolutely brilliant.
I mean, it's so fascinating. So as you put it into your mouth, it's like sweet and appley. Mm-hmm. The apple pieces I love because they've maintained their texture and they actually crunch a little bit like an apple really does. And then as you're eating it, you've got kind of cinnamon and all these different spices swirling around. But then very slowly in the background, there's this build of chili. And right now, after 2 whole spoonfuls, I've got really nice, like not overly chili, but very much I'm aware that I've had chili. This sort of nice, warm, fruity, sweet richness. It's lovely.
Thank you very much, yeah. And I do say to people, when you have cheeses, obviously the cream in the cheese brings that heat down as well if you don't like too much heat. And, I've been on a lot of, some of these have been in competitions and some of the feedback I get, which is a little bit weird. It's always appreciated. Obviously, I like to iterate on what I've done. But people say, well, it's got too much spice. But then when you have it with, as you're supposed to, a product like cheese or in a bacon sandwich or this particular one, you can. I really challenge anyone to try this. You can have it as a base on a pizza, but completely up to you if you want to try it. It really does calm down and really express itself in a really unique way.
I can see that with, like you said, bacon or pork.
Excellent with pork.
Yeah.
Meats generally is really good with. The versatility of it is pretty good. On your cheese board with a glass of red wine, your bacon patty, Sunday morning breakfast, your roasts, particularly roast ham, brilliant.
Oh yeah, I can see that. That's amazing. And now I'm going to try the tropical pineapple jammin'.
I think we should have started with this one first.
Should we?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the chili from the Sweet Chilli Apple Sauce.
Chili. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'll take a palate cleansing sip of water. When I did chili judging for Great Taste Awards, they give you white chocolate buttons in between each of the different chili sauces
because of the milk.
Cleanse. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's
there's dry crackers, there's apple, and there's white chocolate buttons. And a combination of all three of those really can take something that's like, Carolina Reaper level hot right down into, I could actually taste again. But by the end of the day, you're like, yeah, I'm chillied out. But this is a different texture.
Yes, this is a different texture. It's a lot softer.
Well, I think the apple was softer in that it sort of flowed. This one's got.
Well, this is the jam.
It's more like a jelly. Is it a jelly?
Yeah, essentially it is a jam. It's not a sauce of type. It's a jam. It's just a very, very versatile jam.
It's very pineapple-y.
A lot of people, when I'm selling these on markets, a lot of people say to me, "It's really pineapple-y." I'm like, "Yeah, it's pineapple jam."
I don't think I've ever had pineapple jam in my life.
It's not popular in this country. However, I have heard it's popular in Australia.
Really?
Yeah, but not here at all. Not
but
really.
It's sweet. I thought it was going to be like, I don't know why pineapple's really sweet, but I thought it might be quite savoury. I don't know why. Like this one's quite savoury. It's a sweet but savoury item.
Yeah.
Like that, I would not ever put that on my toast.
No.
This one, I'm thinking it could go on my toast, but it could maybe go in other things too. It's fascinating. I don't think I've ever tasted anything like this.
So I think with the pineapple sauce, honestly, I didn't actually know how or why it was. I didn't know how popular it was going to be, but it has been immensely popular. With a little bit of nutmeg in there. I don't know if you get the nutmeg.
Yeah,
but
you do get the nutmeg.
So that enhances the pineapple-y. That's why it's so pineapple-y. And I went through a lot of iterations to get that right, to make sure that it is the way it is. And what I've done is paired it with...
I've eaten loads of it. I don't know what to do with it.
Well, I can tell you what to do with it.
Okay, tell me what to do with it. I love it. I'm just going to keep eating it.
You can, put it on top of vanilla ice cream. Canapes is brilliant. One of the most popular canapes I've been making, and I'm actually about to release a video of how to make it, is just a little bit of goat's cheese in a basil leaf with the pineapple jam on top.
This is fancy.
And you would never guess how good it tastes, but it blows your mind. Absolutely blows your mind.
Oh my God, I have to try
how
it.
Good it is. You can make hot drink out of it.
Are you like a chef? Are you like a secret chef?
I love to cook. I'm not a chef. I'm definitely not a chef. I'm not on the levels of chefs. Go through a lot, and I would never take that away from them. But I do like to cook.
Keen home cook.
And
at your house, if I came to your house, would it be basil leaves with goat's cheese and pineapple?
As a starter, yeah. As a starter, you might get that. Yeah.
Okay, you could.
It's always a competition in my house sometimes, well, at least sometimes. My wife's Slovakian, and she has a very broad plethora of things that she can put on the table that everyone will love.
Amazing.
But then coming from a Western background, so there's so much you can get, and actually bringing that into how I cook and the pairing combinations that I actually have has helped me a hell of a lot. So it's like, yeah, that really does play in there. And I will never just say, oh, because I'm West Indian, I'm only going to use, West Indian ingredients or spices. A lot of influences have come from European and Asian backgrounds as well. So I'm very happy to just, kind of bring things in where they work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Food has always done that.
Yeah.
For hundreds and thousands of years, traders have moved around and they've been like, hey,
exactly.
Look, I've got
Silk Road, yeah.
I've got this new vegetable you've never tried before. And then each culture takes it and does something completely different with it, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. And so, yeah, I mean, the pineapple jam, as you tasted, it's toast, brioche.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. But then you can go as far as to make a milkshake with it if you want. It's just really versatile. Someone said that they made a cake with it, just a middle layer.
Oh, wow. I bet that tasted incredible.
Yeah. So, very versatile. And I love that people love it.
Yeah.
That's key for me.
Because it's also got this, although it's, pineapples are very sweet by nature, and the texture, you don't get like a pineapple-y texture. It's very much a jam texture. But you're finishing, you get that kind of nutmeggy hint after a little, after it's been on your palate for a minute or so. But the finish is so clean. right now I've got this kind of citrusy, really clean palate finish that's making me want to just go back and have some more.
I think maybe that's why it's as popular as it has been. We're only a small business. We can only make so much, but it's really good that people have received it well.
So you're in Oxfordshire. So do you sell is it farmers markets? How could somebody buy it? Do we need to drive to Oxfordshire?
No, you can buy it online, and we can deliver throughout the UK. Yeah,
from your website.
We also
Winnie's original website.
Yeah, winniesoriginal.co.uk.
Lovely.
Pop on there. You can see all the jams that we have, including the 2 new ones that we have as well. And we also do farmers markets and some general markets actually around the UK as well, southern UK as well. So you'll see us pop up now and again. And I normally do advertisements in the areas that I'm going to be. So
clever.
Maybe a week before, so people can watch out for Winnie's Original coming to you.
Coming to a farmer's market near you. So
yeah.
That's really cool. So what other kind of flavours have you got planned for this? Oh, is that secret?
I can tell you the 2 that are... No, we've got loads. We've got So we've got some more traditional ones, which is raspberry and blueberry. Actually, blueberry is not so traditional for the UK, but it's available. We've also got black forest fruits, which I've been told it tastes like wine. We then have, obviously, the sweet chili apple that you've tasted and the pineapple that you've tasted as well. We have a more exclusive jam, which is a bit more extravagant. I don't know if I've got one. Yes, I have. This one here, which is cherry almond jam. And this is one of the more expensive ones because it has 24 karat gold in it. It has 30-year-old port with some... I tried to make it so that it's quite special when you eat it and you get surprises when you eat it. So there is a little surprise in there that when you start eating it, that you don't necessarily expect, but it just works. And then the texture of it as well is very much different.
Wow.
But it's an interesting one that I hope does take off, but it's a bit more expensive because of the way it's made and
because of all the gold in it, right?
Well, yeah, that too.
That's incredible.
And then the 2 new ones that we have coming out, which is the papaya and pineapple and the watermelon and sorrel to go alongside the pineapple jam, which is part of the Sunshine range, all from the kind of West Indian background, influenced by the West Indian background. Yeah,
lovely. And how much are they?
They're all £6 besides the cherry almond jam,
which is 1,000.
I wish I could. I wish I could actually sell it for that much, but no. That's £14 actually. But that, I must admit, as every person out there that's running a small business, prices do fluctuate, particularly with gold.
Yeah,
prices do fluctuate, so it can change. But I try to minimise the actual impact on my customers. I try to keep it very level, and I've always kept the majority of the jams at £6, and that that allows me to be able to provide them with the quality that I want to give them.
Yeah, nice. Oh, that's amazing.
Thank you.
What does Winnie, your mum, think about it? What's her favourite flavour?
She is the approver.
Okay.
Nothing's allowed to go to market without her approval.
She's quality control, is she?
Exactly. Yeah. She tastes, she likes, I release.
Amazing.
But no, she's been excellent. She doesn't do the cooking, but she does do the tasting. She does, offer advice sometimes. Some of which I take, some of which I kind of don't essentially. But she's very, very supportive of it, and is very happy that it's going the way in the direction it is going.
So, you've had some other flavours. You were talking about the beetroot one that you decided that wasn't going to hit Winnie's quality control. What makes a jam or a condiment stand out to you? What's your kind of spark test?
Different. Has to be different. There are lots of people doing ginger and
lemon,
whatever, and ginger's a great root vegetable. Yeah, root vegetable to actually use in jams. It's punchy, it's great, but I want something different, and if it's not different, I find it very hard to say that it's what Winnie's Original is all about. So I have to create something that's different. It's the designer in me. I have to do it. I don't want to. In some cases, like the raspberry jam, in Oxfordshire, raspberry is quite popular. And people were always asking for us, like, okay, great, I'll do a raspberry jam, but I didn't just do it normally. I made it the most intense raspberry I could possibly make.
How? How do you make a raspberry more raspberry?
There is a way.
Is there?
There is a way. It took me a long time to work it out, but there is a way, yeah. I'm not going to tell you.
You're not going to tell me, are you? Fine.
But, yeah, the blueberry, I made that because my wife, and she said she wanted blueberry jam, and Bon Mars was out there, and I didn't want her to buy Bon Mars, basically.
Yeah, fair. Amazing. So you said before the show, I was asking what made you a food rebel, and you said, oh, I'm not really sure that anything does. We're just a small company in Oxfordshire. I beg to differ. I think you're being rebellious on lots of different fronts here. You're not doing things the way lots of other people are doing things. You are looking for flavours, and your answer there to what gives it spark is that difference. So I think I'm going to answer that question for you. I think that's what makes you a food rebel.
I didn't want to be presumptuous in saying that, I'm a food rebel because I do X, Y, and Z, and, I do. It's just what I think the creative process, which has been my background for years and years and years, has bled over into the company and how it actually operates. And I think that the majority of people starting companies, food-related companies where their sauces and things that accompany main dishes, they want to be creative but are kind of driven down a particular road simply because it's what the demand is. So I don't know what to pick actually. I suppose what's popular at the time, so chili now is very, very popular, but I don't want to make a chili jam. I'm just not interested in making a chili jam. I don't want a hot pepper sauce. I'm not really interested in that. I'm interested in making something that someone, when they taste it, they go, I just want more. I don't know why, I just want more. That's what I want. That's the reaction I want. But I don't want to take the easy road and just be like, oh, I've got to make a chili jam. And there you go. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's about the art form for you, isn't it? More than
I think so, yeah.
Commercial output, really.
Yeah. Yeah, the commercial output for me, I mean, obviously, to make a company work, you do need, you do need to be able to scale it and, make it profitable. However, I'm not going to make that my mainstay. It always has to be one that's artistic and always creating and bettering what it's done, what it's doing. So, yeah, and I think I'll remain happy in it. I think that's probably one of the main things. Anybody, if it does grow and people come to work, I want them to work there because they're happy working there and they like the format in which the company takes, not because I just need a paycheck. And I mean, obviously everyone needs a paycheck, but, just want it to be natural, holistic, organically grown rather than putting it into a brand name supermarket and just pumping stuff out.
Yeah, I admire that enormously. And I think from my experience of meeting so many different brand owners, the ones who put flavour first and really work hard to protect that flavour. Even one of the brands we've worked with, Sauce Shop, they ended up trying to scale and going to a third-party manufacturer, and they lost the essence of the flavour. They'd lost it. Just, at scale, they weren't able to recreate what they were creating in their own facility, and they ended up moving it all back in-house and just scaling their own facility with their own people and their own control over that flavour profile.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's why it's one of the best tasting ones. And it's just, I think if you come at it from flavour first, it can't not be successful.
Well, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, exactly. So what is it? What's the future looking like for Winnie's Original?
I think, as I mentioned, I want it to grow organically. I'm not pushing this in a direction that it needs to go into any particular shop or any particular outlet. Although at the very start I was like, yeah, I want this in Harrods and I want this in Harvey Nicks.
I can see
but
in
now
Harrods
it's actually,
or Selfridges for sure.
Well, maybe.
Why not?
Maybe.
Look at it, that would belong on the shelf there, no trouble.
But I haven't, since really getting down to, understanding the ethos of what I want the company to be, it's not necessarily the direction I would go. I mean, if the opportunity was there and all the, all the right signs were there, then yeah, definitely you'll go into those shops. But I'm not going to run after it, if that makes sense. I'm going to focus on what makes it good and what makes people love it and what makes me happy, honestly.
Yeah.
What makes me happy. And then if from there can grow organically, great. I know the people in Oxfordshire that have tasted it, love it, have repeat orders all the time. I'm very sure that at least the people in Oxfordshire like it and will appreciate it.
They're a discerning bunch in Oxfordshire, so it sounds absolutely amazing, and I love how joyful you look and sound when you are talking about it and talking about your process and your mum and your wife and all these things coming together. I can see that it's actually bringing you a huge amount of joy and fun, I think, in your life.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's when I've forgotten the saying, but if you live to work, then or you work to live, you got to have that balance. And I think if you can find the thing that you love doing and make it your job, then you're going to be 100. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, one final question. What is the one condiment that you couldn't live without? I'm asking you to pick your favourite baby, aren't I?
That is tough. If you had asked me what was the one food, I could have told you. But
Go on then, what was your one food?
Chicken.
Couldn't live without chicken.
It's just too good.
It is good, isn't it?
Just too good.
It can be so many different things as well.
Yeah, I really do love chicken. The condiment, though, that's a very hard one for me. If you're talking about Winnie's original Sweet Chilli Apple Sauce, if you're talking about generally, do oils come under?
Yeah, sure.
Condiments? Yeah,
there's no rules.
Olive oil.
Olive oil, yeah, fair.
It's just too good. It's the flavours that you can get from it, just from the natural olives. And I've literally just come back from France as well, and their olive oil tastes completely different to Spain, completely different to Greece, and completely different to Italy. It's just amazing. I love it. Yeah,
olive oil. There is something about olive oil where you taste a good olive oil and you're like, I'm actually buying my tomatoes for my olive oil, not the other way round.
Yeah, it's great. I love olive oil. Yeah.
Wonderful. Don, thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing your wonderful, joyful story with us. It's been really lovely to hear it.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Pleasure. Good luck with the next chapter. I will be keeping my eyes out for Winnie's original.
Thank you very much. Please do.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening. You've been listening to Food Rebels, which is available on radio stations around the UK and further afield. You can also listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify and Audible. Please remember to subscribe and rate us with 5 stars or follow us. It makes such a difference, not just to our podcast and radio show, but it really helps to support the guests that come on the show with us. We're also on Instagram at food_rebels. So give us a follow, do get in touch. We love hearing from you and let us know what you think. Thanks so much for joining us and make sure you taste the rebellion.